Alright, hey guys, Godzilla from Hell, back with another moveset video. This one is for Mega Charizard. Now, he does have two variants, so I will be covering both of them because they both fill very different roles. They're not the exact same, although they're both very awesome in my opinion. The first one is the one everyone was basically screaming at Game Freak for, is the Mega Charizard X, which is finally a dragon type. It is a dragon fire type with fairly good moves and a really useful ability. The ability he gets after Mega Evolving is Tough Claws. That means any contact move will do 33% more damage. What this means is any kind of move where I hit the opponent, such as Dragon Claw and Flare Blitz, will have a 1/3 damage boost. This is amazing. This is very useful simply because he's already a very powerful Pokemon, and when you combine this with his already very powerful stab moves, he becomes a very, very hard hitter that you cannot ignore. You have to take a Charizard seriously now. It used to be rocks, Charizard's done. Not anymore. Not anymore, especially both these sets. So the first thing we're going to go over is his EVs. Now, I prefer a bulkier Charizard X. It may not make sense right away, but I've seen it and it is terrifying. You max his speed out, you give him a little bit of bulk either side, and he can take a few hits. 78 HP is okay, it's respectable-ish. Non-invested, it's okay. His base attack at 130 with no investments but a positive nature comes up to 325, which is not too bad in my opinion. You give him a little bit in the physical defense, a little bit in his special defense, and dump the rest in speed, and you will be doing fairly well. You'll be able to take some hits. Now, you could, in theory, take a little bit out of this, maybe find a speed creep tier. I'm not too familiar with a lot of them right now. It's one thing I'm learning. But you can find it here, and then dump some more into his HP to make it even bulkier, because we do have the Dragon Dance. So, onto the moves, obviously. We do have the Dragon Dance to set up with. This is a great move for him. It boosts his attack and his speed, which are his two primary stats for sweeping, especially after the Tough Claws. So we have Dragon Dance to set up. Dragon Claw, very self-explanatory. Great stab coverage move. Only resisted by, I want to say, Fairy and Steel. I think that's it. Everything else will get hit pretty hard by it. And we have Flare Blitz to handle those pesky Steel types. Fairy types will definitely take a large chunk of damage from Flare Blitz. I can't think of any fairies that resist fire. I'm not too familiar with fairy types yet, but I really don't think there are any fairy types that resist fire. If I'm wrong, wait, yes, there is. There's one. Azumarill. Azumarill. Azumarill is a good, clean stop to the set, so you do have to be wary of that and carry something that has the ability to take on the Azumarill. So be warned, this does have a very clean counter. And Roost, just in case I don't like what's happening. So, overall, this one's a very powerful set. You need a chance to set up, and it does have a very dangerous counter in Azumarill, which we all know is a scary Pokemon to begin with. Alright, but that's not the only Mega Charizard. He's one of the few ones, the very lucky ones, to get 2 Mega Evolutions. This is actually my personal favorite. I prefer Y. Now, don't yell at me yet. I'll tell you why. Get it? Why? One bad joke a day. It's my rule. So let's go over his ability, which is Drought, which is very, I don't want to say situational, but it is very useful when combined with a very fast, powerful fire type, which Mega Charizard Y is a very fast, powerful fire type. So this ability is amazing for him. He can also work in conjunction with a Sun team and really just start setting things up. If you want him to be more of the setup, Sun Pokemon, we can change his EVs a bit, but we'll get into that in a minute. His moves are very straightforward, a little less so than the X version. He has Air Slash for great coverage and a chance to flinch. Fire Blast or Flamethrower, it's your choice. It depends on how hard you want to hit, whether you want to risk the 15% miss chance. I run Fire Blast just because this thing is an all-out, just middle finger attacker. He's going to hit you and you're going to regret it. A sun boosted Fire Blast from this guy off his monstrous special attack is going to tear things to shreds unless they resist it and have good defense. Anything that's weak to it will more than likely be OHKO'd, if not crippled. So keep that in mind. This thing is a threat with its Fire Blasts. But Flamethrower is a viable choice too. Or Overheat. I mean, there's a couple other fire moves in this category, but I think Fire Blast is my personal favorite. Another move that really kicks in because of the ability Drought is Solar Beam. Now, this is a very good counter to the Azumarill. I haven't actually calculated whether he can live an Aqua Jet, but a Solar Beam will hurt an Azumarill. Azumarill is unfortunately a really good stop to Charizard's, but the Y version, in my opinion, is a better stop to Azumarill. The Drought weakens the water and boosts the Fire and Solar Beam, so you have more of an even ground. Still, you do have to be aware of it. The last move is a bit harder to put in. Mega Charizard X was pretty easy. It was a bulky set, but with this one, there's a couple moves, not too many. I prefer running Roost as more of a backup move. I usually don't go for it. I don't think I've really ever gone for it, but it's always in the back of my mind that, okay, if I need to, I can heal. More for, like I said, that comfort zone of, okay, I can if I need to, but, I mean, you can go for a Will-O-Wisp, you can go for a Dragon Pulse if you want, you can go for, you could go for a Flamethrower and a Fire Blast, have the dual stab fire, just in case you want to hit really hard, or have the option of a more accurate, safer bet. Or I could go for Overheat if I just need something to die. It's got a little bit more base power and a little more accuracy than Fire Blast, but at the cost of lowering your special attack by 2. He's got, Substitute. I could try and catch a status effect if they want to go for that. I can go for that, set it behind a sub. All good. Or I could go for, honestly, Toxic Tailwind. There's a lot of other moves I could go for the Mega Charizard in that last slot. It's kind of up to you how the rest of your team synergizes. I just put Roost there because that's what I usually run. His EV's very straightforward, fast, and hard-hitting. Base 100 speed is okay. It's respectable. A lot of things outspeed him. But that's okay when you see his special attack. At 159, with max investment, neutral nature, he hits a very impressive 417. A 417 base special attack, Sun-boosted Fire Blast, that's a lot of damage. You're going to be catching things off guard and hitting them very hard. You could also kind of throw people off for confuse them a lot because he does have 104 base attack. So if you really want to screw with people, you could run a physical Charizard Y. Now, all you'd really do is maybe change Air Slash for Acrobatics. Well, maybe not Acrobatics. Maybe, what's that move? Aerial Ace. Maybe Aerial Ace, Flare Blitz, maybe Solar Beam, because, as long as you don't go in negative attack nature, you're going to hit really hard. And Roost just for, Roost, or that last filler slot. So, these are the two ways that I like to run Charizards. He's a really good Pokemon. He's a very, I don't want to say one-trick pony, but he's got a very good focus. The Mega X is a good Dragon type, good setup, good bit of bulk, can hit very hard, and the Y variant is a great Sun setter. Very hard-hitting, very quick. I'm not going to say very fast, he's very quick. There are Pokemon that are much faster, and you do have to be aware of those. As I mentioned earlier, Mega Charizard X, this set is completely walled by Azumarill or any other water fairies. I don't think there are. But, alright, so, as always, Godzilla from Hell, thank you for watching, and peace out.